Hello my friends, welcome back. It's episode 23. I hope you guys are ready for some plot. I am. I got myself some ciders so I can get myself through this plot. Actually, I don't mind the plot of the game. I actually think the plot has been reasonable enough so far.
The so-called noble houses of Brevoy, mainly Surtova, Orlovsky, and Lebeda, once ruled over Issia. We, the Aldori, ruled Rostland. The royal house Rogarvia, founded by Korl the Conqueror, forced us into obedience. But 200 years isn't long enough to make peace with such a troubled history. Even 2,000 years wouldn't be enough for us to accept Issian rule. Brevoy is a country held together by a thread, and that thread grows ever weaker.
Okay.
We, the Aldori and the great noble houses, spent 200 years under the rule of invaders, the royal house Rogarvia. We plotted, we schemed, we stabbed each other in the back, but open confrontation was out of the question. But a few years ago, House Rogarvia disappeared. No one knows how or why, but one day, their manors were just empty, and the force that held Brevoy together, that kept us from a bloody feud, ceased to be. Brevoy
And then they were gone.
Ruled by the House Surtova, the former kings of Issia, but their power pales in comparison to that of House Rogarvia when they were here. So now, Surtova and Aldori stand facing each other, staring each other in the eye, waiting for the other to draw their sword. It's an untenable situation. No one wants a civil war that would drown Brevoy in blood. But peace between us is also out of the question. Rostland
What role do I play in your plans?
And we will regain it. The power the Issians hold over us is humiliating and costly. And the Surtovas won't give us our freedom without a fight. That is, unless there is some external power that can force everyone to sit down and talk. The stolen lands are disputed territory. Brevoy can't appropriate them without raising protests from each of the neighboring states. However, if some brave people were to found independent states on that land, it would be another matter entirely. My hope is that you and your future neighbors, Baron Hannes Drelev and Captain Mager Varn, will become our allies. But even your neutrality would introduce a powerful counterbalance to the aggression of the noble houses. Maybe, with your help, the inevitable division of Brevoy can occur without too much pain.
Don't the Sword Lords have any other foreign
We hope
allies?
to get some help from the Maivani Aldori, the descendants of the Sword Lords who have fled from Korl's rage to build a new nation in the south. But the Issians know this well, and are doing everything they can to deny us this help. I won't go into details, but if my intelligence is correct, if a civil war starts in Brevoy, Maivan will be too occupied with its own inner troubles to interfere. Restov is a free city, proud of its independence from everyone, including the Aldori Sword Lords. But when it comes to Rostland's liberation, our goals align. This whole plan is our joint creation with Lord Mayor Yosef Selimius.
I've just noticed that my tail is sticking through my cloak.
Actually, she could still intervene and disrupt the proceedings. But she's a Surtova. Their games are always complex and multi-layered.
Surtova!
Always looking for ways to turn defeat into victory. If she's decided to allow you to become a baron, it means she already has some idea of how she can turn it to her benefit. Let's consider how she could do so. Maybe she understands that Rostland will inevitably separate and she doesn't want a war. In that case, new states in the stolen lands give the Issians a reason to sit down and talk without losing face. But that's an optimistic view, and truth be told, it doesn't quite match up with what we've come to expect from the Surtovas. The more likely scenario is that Natala wants to win you over to her side. If war breaks out and at least one of you stabs us in the back, Rostland will be surrounded by enemies. That might be enough to bring about our downfall. But you would fall first, and your newly formed states would be left in ruin. The Isians always like to have someone around to pull their chestnuts out of the fire for them. A piece of friendly advice? Don't do business with House Sertovas, no matter what promises they make you. Any deal with the noble houses is a deal with devils.
It's a deal with devils.
How should I know? We're in the middle of a big game. And today, you move from being merely a piece on the board to being one of the players. I hope you have a better understanding of what's at stake.
I don't need an
think
envoy.
I'm trying to impose a nanny or a spy on you. We're neighbors now. You'll need someone knowledgeable about Brevoy's politics to act as an ambassador to your court. If you don't like Casil, you're free to choose someone else, but I won't be able to vouch for the loyalty or trustworthiness of another envoy. Enjoy your evening. When you're ready for the official part, come to me.
Oh, we just turned around and walked into her. Mingle with the guests. Okay.
March, march. All I do is march.
This man is obviously more comfortable on the battlefield than in the company of nobles. The new ruler of Dunsward, your neighbor to the east. How did you earn the title of Baron? Like a pheasant on a plate. I've killed all kinds of monsters, but this is the first time I've so strongly felt like turning away could get me eaten. Alright, the newly made nobility needs to stick together.
Follow me, or don't.
Lander. He's got a very nice portrait. He must be, like, important. Let's just say I'm here incognito. I travel the country in secret without servants, so I can see it for myself, not from a carriage window, but face to face with the people. Haha. Take me.
How much longer, I wonder?
He does not seem very trustworthy. Oh, Almari's at the food, I'm sure. Oh, I'm being approached.
Will you drink with me?
I've yet to be overpowered. It seems like someone wishes to poison me.
Oh yes. There's no wine in the world that tastes as rich as victory. But jokes aside,
I came to apologize.
Apologize. I know the words I said in our conversation with Lady Aldery might have offended you, but this was not my intention. The lessons life has dealt me were not easy. I've learned to be wary of new acquaintances, which is why I've refused to join your party. I hope you will forgive me for this weakness and for my harsh words. And I hope you will hear me out, for I have something to tell you.
Okay.
As it happens, I came across some very valuable information. What brave conqueror of these wild lands wouldn't be intrigued by news of an ancient shrine, possibly full of great treasures? A place such as this was discovered by my old friends from Kadira, and it just so happens to be located in lands that today become rightfully yours. My friends lack the courage to enter the shrine and seek the treasure, but what will stop us? We who know the taste of battle and have been singed by the same fire. Your caution is reasonable.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to visit the capital of your newborn barony anyway. I might rent a house. Find me there if you decide you're interested in my offer.
I think this is a DLC quest and
So long,
might be very high
I'll
level
call you
for
so
me.
today because soon enough, all you'll be hearing is, Your Grace, Your Grace, Your Grace.
Okay. Enjoy it while you can. I would never simply wish to warn you in case you didn't fully realize the fate that awaits you and your barony. The most reasonable course of action would be to align yourself with the lawful rulers of Brevoy, the noble houses. Gods!
Will this ever end?
He's obviously bored. You must be the Staglord Butcher. Quite forget your name. What did you do to deserve your new dominion? So you have no army and no special merits. You were just given land for being pretty. You're not very polite for a nobleman. The fact that he's been a total ass to me either means that he turns out to be the good guy later, or he is actually a total ass. There's no middle ground. The only luxury you have is a holy symbol of Estoril, or Erastil, sorry, made of solid gold. saw how you fought about beside Jamandi that night. Your god granted you impressive power. Now I call on his power to heal those who have fallen from a roof more often than anyone wounded by a sword. Ugh. I think that's a really important check that I've just failed because of my ridiculously low roll. Oh, I rolled a 2. Of course I did. Between the treasures and the recent checks, I have managed to be under 10 for pretty much everything. All I needed was a 9. I needed to just be slightly below average. I even bet a bottle of my best Pitaxian wine against you. Lord Mayor of Rostov. Bro, its politics seem complex and incomprehensible to many. The Aldori Sword Lords used to rule Rossland. An aspiring politician needs to be well informed. I'm talking about the disappearance of the ruling house of Rogarvia. I don't want to boast, but things have been going well in recent years. Trade prospers, population grows, and citizens are happy. I could immediately procure, let's say, 500 cartloads of building supplies. I'm sure that would give you a good start. In exchange, ask a small favour. Until you repay the debt in full, you simply assume the obligation of contracting building services through Restov's Builders Guild. Well, I guess we could just immediately repay the debt at some point.
So, how do you like our little gathering? I hope you've made some useful connections. Shall we move? Of course.
Okay, I think I've spoken to everybody now.
So, how do you like our little gathering? I hope you've made some useful connections. My apprentice, Kasil Aldori, will go with you, won't he? Whatever you choose, I won't argue. But you must choose your inner circle with the utmost care. Excellent. Stand here.
I don't know enough about the other two to actually really accept them.
Lords
It's better
and
the devil you know.
ladies, today, we are here to honor 3 brave people who have done the impossible. They've tamed the stolen lands.
Better the devil you know.
Baron Hannes Drelev, the new master of Glenabon. Captain Maegor Varn, the conqueror of Dunsword. And finally, the tamer of the Shrike Hills, who put an end to the atrocities of the Stag Lord's bandits. Step forward.
Oh, that reminds me, I have to go and see that zombie, don't I, and let him know that the Stag Lord is dead.
The free city of Rostov, I confer upon you this noble title. Rise, your grace.
Baron Papa Smurf of the Smurf Village.
Victory! The Stag Lord's dead, and the capital of the new barony has been built in place of his fort. That was how the long and challenging taming of the stolen lands began.
Okay. That's like Amari, Octavia, Tristan, Rongar, and Lindsay. Who's missing? Valerie. Welcome, Your Grace. I'm here to welcome you on behalf of your new capital citizens. The Stag Lord's former stronghold will soon be a thriving city. The main question is, where can I get a drink or three? Any citizens I should know about? Estel's clerics normally don't like cities much, but he's eager to serve you. Also, the emissary from Brevoy is here, waiting for you in the throne room. It's also a curious matter. An elf has paid us a visit. A blind elf. Okay, let's go and find these people. They're all around here somewhere. Building a city is thirsty work. Your Grace. It's wet near the lake and windy up here on the hill. A fine place to throw garbage at your neighbors' heads, though. It did not save him, no. It did not save him from RNG. You already have our first vendor. Has a hair of pure gold and can breathe fire. All barons can breathe fire, trust me. Cannot breathe fire. The building in front of us is your residence. That's where we'll head to now. Okay. I prepared myself for a long episode of plot. And we are definitely in a long episode of plot. Welcome to your barony. Okay. It was a pleasure to meet you at the Restolf reception. Barony effects. Community +6, loyalty +6, military +3, economy, divine, arcane, stability. Trade agreement with Sertova, agreement with Lolith Solaris. Esvanki's offer? Pillage the Temple of the Elk, rebuild the Temple of the Elk. Okay. Your clerics, Jode and Tristran, were the first to seek an audience. I won't distract you further, I'll leave you to consider. Bring order to these troubled lands. There is a curse at the Temple of the Elk. What is this place? There is a bald hilltop not far from here to the north of the capital. We will go there as soon as we are able. The curse will grow in strength. We predict it will reach the peak of its strength in about a month. Okay. Barony stats. Stats increase if your governance is successful and decrease if events don't end well or other negative factors are placed in your way. Don't let your barony stats drop to 0 or lower. This will cause your subjects to riot and your state will begin to crumble. Each of 10 positions has at least 3 characters qualified to hold it. It can't be changed later. That's okay. Projects. Rebuild the Temple of the Elk. Okay. She's really intelligent as well, so she should be a good regent. Okay, seems reasonable. Direct. The only problem is Rigongar is kind of evil, so... And Amari is kind of stupid, so we'll go with Cassil. Harun favors unusual but effective solutions. I think we'll stick with the old priest for now, shall we? I have no one suitable to be a treasurer. He wants to spread the faith. Sure thing. You can still remain an advisor while doing that, right? Yep. Is that wise? Oops, I didn't mean to do it like that.
March, march. All I do is march.
I need to find a treasurer. Claim new regions. Okay, let's get on. Our merchants receive the right to establish a sizable trading post within the heart of New Stetven. Each city in the barony will give an extra 5 BP a week, 2 BP for each town, and 1 BP for each village. Purchase BP. Okay, they're quite expensive. Okay, he can't do that because he's busy doing something else. I need to find a treasurer. Maybe some of the people in the town would be
March, march. All I do is march.
recruitable for this purpose. Hey, there's a box. Oh, it's my personal stash. Plenty of stuff to read. Okay, let's see if we can find some people. Tell me of your origins. She picked me up off the streets when I was about 14. I was fighting some Lord's guardsmen. I've never seen a Restovic noble so afraid. He was almost reverent. Please teach me! Please teach me! How do you like being general? Chol the Conqueror came to our lands. The Stovers didn't even attempt to defend themselves.
Not that I care.
He seems solid enough, but his loyalty to the Eldori is gonna be unquestioning. Storyteller. Who is there? Is that you, Your Grace? Long ago, I was a smith in Conan. The fire of the forge has burned out my eyes. Are you really an elf? Do other elves age as you have? Some incomprehensible force is keeping this man alive. Would you care to trade stories? I'm a collector, not a trader. If you discover items that come from eras past, bring them to me. A coin from a non-existent country. The token of the Dryad. A soldier does not ask where the banners of war are headed, just that he goes to battle, dies, and leaves it to others to decide if the cause was just. Too few of them here for me to recount yet. Please find all 5 of them. It is known as the Necklace of Double Crosses. Inside it is a story of many deeds, not heroic, but low and maleficent. If you find all 7 of its fragments, I may restore the artifact and recount its inglorious story. Okay. So there are 7 pieces. And there's 5 pieces of this. I think I sold some of them, so I might have to go and get them back.
Or don't.
I guess they were story items after all. You know, it's funny. Honestly, they could have made it so that you unlock him sooner. Let's be honest here.
Not that I care.
He could have been at Olaf's outpost, for example. I'll have to go back to Olav and go and get those items that I sold him. Since the guy is handing out quite a lot of gold for them as well.
Hello, my savior. You asked
Hello.
if we'd meet again. And here I am. I see your fate has changed since last we met. Now you are the ruler who will determine the destiny of these lands.
Touch my
am the
power!
living heart, the whisper of the wind, the strength of rivers, the luxuriant growth of the meadows. Do you wish to touch this power?
Phrasing, phrasing.
I will show you a place where we can finally meet in flesh, you and I. Deep in the woods, there is an old mossy ruins long abandoned, nearly swallowed by the thicket. There is an old tree growing among the stones in the yard, which I remember as a seed. A shadow under its green crown I call my verdant chambers. Visit me there, my lord, and come alone. A nymph's reward awaits you.
A nymph's reward awaits you. I wonder what kind of reward that will be. Fine.
So long. I will await you.
Poof!
Will this ever end?
I can't pick locks.
How much longer, I wonder?
I am a messenger from the Temple of Aldebar in Assalom. Oh, diamonds. That means that casting certain spells are going to be super expensive. It's a long story and not a terribly exciting one. If you're so eager to help the citizens, why do you charge for your services? So you say. Right, we're actually really out of time. It's just been a wall of plot, and to be honest, there's a lot more to go. There's a lot more of this barony that needs exploring. And I also need to find a treasurer, so... Anyway, that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.